My name is Linda Barker and this is Bailey, and he's a Labradoodle. And today I'm going to put him into a relatively short, easy maintenance pet trim. And to do that we're going to use the Whirl switchblade clipper and the snap-on comb attachments to help reduce the time it takes to do and speed up the process. Good boy, stay. Good boy, good boy. I'm going to use the number 4 blade, which is the peach comb attachment, and a 10 blade itself, which just literally snaps over the top of that. And start from the back of the neck and use this to reduce the body down in length. Good boy. Labradoodle coats do vary considerably in what we see come into the salon. Sometimes they're very poodly, sometimes they can be like this, and others can be very, look a bit like golden retrievers, and obviously they're the ones that, you know, still molt. So there's no guarantee what the coat is like when you've got a Labradoodle coming in. The ones that don't molt are obviously quite high maintenance and need regular grooming and trimming. Obviously, the longer the coat is, the higher maintenance it is for the owner at home. So generally they usually want something that looks a reasonable length to manage. So the dogs can go on average around about 6 weeks between coming to see the groomer. The comb attachments work really, really well with doing this sort of work because it reduces your time down. Rather than scissoring the body down, it just reduces the length of time it takes to reduce the body length down, and does it in a neat and even manner. Relatively short on the body, but obviously the longer that you leave the body length with the comb attachment, it's not quite as neat and as even as when you do a shorter length. So sometimes if you leave it very long using the comb attachment, you then just need to go and perhaps tidy it up with your scissors afterwards. And you get round to his head, hold his head up and just run under his throat line. You tend to clip the way that the coat grows. Follow the line that the coat grows. When you get to the front legs, don't just run it off slightly as you get to the top of the front leg. Don't go in too deep because you'll make him taper in too much. So you want to natural blend of the coat, so when you come to scissoring, it's just easy blended in. Again, keep going over the body hair until you virtually get nothing coming off. You should have a nice even length to then work with. When you come down to the back leg, again, run it slightly off the top of the leg. And to show the dog's natural angulation, run the clipper down at this point. It gives you a good outline to start with when you start scissoring the back leg in. Just run it off so it gives you the natural shape of the dog's leg. And then come down the sides and then just gradually don't go in quite so deep with the clipper, just blend it in and run it off slightly. So you're just gently combing it through the coat. And then when you come back up to here, run it through again, so you get to the point where you get nothing else coming off. As you can see, there's virtually nothing coming off now. So we need to turn him round and do the other side. Once you've clipped both sides with your clipper, give the coat a good comb in the opposite direction, combing the hair up, and then run the clippers exactly what you've just done over it again. Just to remove. Just see if it just takes anything else off, just so you get that really neat finish. Just before you finish with the clippers, another good thing to do is lift the back leg up and run down the opposite back leg with your clipper, just to get rid of some of the hair in there, so it's less for you to scissor when you come to do your legs. And do that leg, and then pick the opposite leg up and do exactly the same on the opposite side. Once you've done the body, next thing to do would be to start to do your legs. The first thing I do before I do my legs is pick up the feet and clear the inside of the pads. And for that, I like to use this little clipper. It's really light and easy to use, and ideal for doing this sort of thing. That's one foot done. Good boy. So a foot done. And go around to do the front pads as well. And it's quite easy, but just pick the front foot up, then down by the ankle, lift it backwards, so you've got easy access to the underneath of the foot. You have to turn him around to do the other foot. Once you've done the pads, the other area to clear once you've got this little clipper is the groin area. This is ideal for getting underneath here, just clearing away the excess hair around the groin area. Good boy. Finish on that side, and turn him around and do the other side. Once you've cleared your pad, then with your comb all your foot hair out so you can see exactly where it is before you start trimming around the foot. And you want to create a nice cat-like neat foot. A big poodle comb is absolutely ideal for combing out your hair whilst you're trimming. You can see exactly what needs to come off. Put your foot down again and then give it a good comb through to see what needs to come off. And once you've got a nice neat foot, you then start by reducing the length down on the leg. Give yourself a nice neat. There. Now where you've taken the clipper in and given yourself your angulation, just start blending and neatening that area up. You see with the poodle crosses, you haven't always got the thickness and density that you would have in a poodle coat. So hence you get the coat going in different direction, whirls and swirls, as you can see on his back legs there. So it's not always the easiest coats to come up neat. You just have to work with what you've got and make the best of it. So the coats do go in all different directions. It hasn't got quite the density that a poodle coat, a full-blown poodle coat would have. Although saying that, some of the Labradoodles we do see come in are extremely woolly. And then you've got the opposite extreme where they're very sparse coats. So it's very hit and miss in what you see. And you have to govern on the day what you've got in front of you and what you do to it. Again, keep lifting the coat up, just blending the leg in to a reasonable length. Remembering that this is purely a maintenance trim and not for grooming competitions or anything like that. This is to get your owner probably a 6-week window before coming to see you again. Good boy. The other thing you sometimes find with the Labradoodles as well, that the coat is sometimes a little bit thinner or grows in different directions in certain areas. So his hair here is quite a lot thinner than it is elsewhere. So you comb it up, you've got to remember that it's going to fall back into its own position and where it wants to go, rather than hold itself like a traditional poodle coat would do. Bailey doesn't carry that much hair on his legs. Again, it's just easy maintenance for him and his owner. So. Just tidy up what he's got and where. And once you've done the outside of the leg, go around to the back and work from the back, combing out what you've got again, just scissoring off in a neat And if you need to, you can hold the opposite leg up to get a better view of what you're doing whilst working on the other side of the opposite leg. I don't want to take too much off because he's a lot thinner here than he is on the sides of his legs. It's just the natural growth of the coat. That should be his first of his legs completed. And do exactly the same thing on the other leg, the other side. Once you finish doing the other back leg, just tidy up around the bottom area, although he doesn't actually grow that much coat around that area. Just tidy up whatever the dog has actually got, not to leave too much, so it's an area it can get a bit messy. And then go and do your front legs. Right, the front leg, same as the back leg, start off round by the base of the foot, start by giving the dog a nice, tight, neat foot. Again with your comb, pull out any excess hair that you might be able to find. Put your foot down. Good boy. Yeah, I know, I don't really want your foot. I want it on the table, thank you. Good boy. If your dog does want to lift up the foot you're trying to work on, a good trick is to lift the opposite leg up, and they should eventually put their leg down that you want to work on. And once you've pulled all the hair out, lift the foot up again, and then comb all the hair forward over the pads, and then trim off what hangs over. Put the foot back down again and have a look. Just tidy up what needs to come off. Boy. Right, once you've tidied around your foot, comb your foot up so you can see what needs to come off, and then create a nice tubular front leg. Comb and lift the coat up so you can see what needs to come off. And remembering when you're scissoring not to take it, although he is quite short here already, not to take off too much here to give the sort of boot effect which you can get if you take him too short there. So you want to create a nice tubular front leg. It can still be short, but as long as you maintain the correct shape, it doesn't look too out of place. Right, and then start from where you've clipped your body. Start blending the hair that you've got left on the leg. Again, keep lifting it with your comb so you can see what needs to come off. Good boy. He doesn't need a lot. He's got a little bit of hair here missing, so he doesn't really need much off there, apart from blending. If you were going to do a Labradoodle for a grooming competition, then you'd probably choose one with a slightly thicker, woollier coat. Say Bailey is probably about the average that you sort of see coming in on a regular basis to a grooming salon. So we found this is the best way to deal with this particular type of coat that he has got. They don't all come in with a perfect coat, usually the perfect scissors result that you would need for a grooming competition. And they're saying that he still does come up short as what he is. He still comes up looking quite neat and quite presentable and quite nice. Let's have a look from the inside of the other leg up. As you can see, what he needs to come off on the inside of his front leg. And again, just blend it to a reasonable length. under the front leg area is often where an area gets matted, so you can take that as short as possible without making it look too short. Is rather useful for both yourself and the owner. Areas like there, and also where the dog wears a collar, areas that tend to get matted the first and round also the sides of the cheeks on the face. So the areas to sort of really see if you can keep as short as possible, if you know the dog is inclined to knot up quite quickly and easily. Good boy. She's just taking off the last few ends that you can see, and that's his front leg virtually done. Right, that's one leg done. Now you need to turn him round and do exactly the same thing on the opposite side. Once you finish doing your front legs, then go and complete your tail. Start by blending the hair that joins the body, just to graduate it into the tail itself. Where it meets the body, it's slightly different texture to the rest of it, so it's a bit more woolly there than it is elsewhere. And again, like the cockapoo, just take the end off and then slightly flag it. And the easiest way to do it is just to flag it a bit, just to reduce it down slightly. As long as it's blended at the base of the tail, it's the main. That should be his tail done. Right, once all your body and your legs have been done, then your last bit to do is your head. And again, I like to use the comb attachment and the clipper for that to reduce the length of hair down. We used a 4-comb or the peach comb to do the body. So if you go up to do the head, that'd be the 6. If you just run that off the top of the head and down the sides of the cheeks, that will reduce the hair and save time as well in trimming and give a reasonable, easy maintainable length. Start at the back of your head, back of the neck. Just keep running the comb attachment and clip it over. So it blends it in nicely into the neck. Right. And then go back the other way. Once you've done that, come down the side of the cheeks. And so this is an area that we do tend to find max easily on this type of cross. So you take out as much as you can without going too short. Easy it is for the owner. But in between visits. Again, you do exactly the same thing the opposite side. Lift the ear up and then the clipper down the side of the cheeks. And with the ears, again you run the comb attachment over the top of the ears. Run it over the inside. And then the other side is exactly the same. As with all the doodle crosses, there's no set guidelines as to what to do, because there's obviously no specific breed standard to follow. So really, it's really what works best for the owners in way of maintenance. And this is really just a real commercial salon trim that works best for owner and dog. Right, once you've done that, to comb it all up and see what you can see to trim off. Make sure it's completely blended at the back of the neck. And then comb it over his eyes. You want to clear his eyes, as you can see. Once you clear the top of his fringe, and then clear the corners of the eyes. Again, comb forward. Take off what sticks out. Hold the ear up. Comb up the side of the cheeks. So Bailey is actually kept quite short. So he hasn't got a lot to come off this time round. And again, the same thing the other side. Good boy. Right, and then just straighten up his beard. Good boy. Good boy. Can leave the ears long or short. Again, it's really what works best for the owner, or what the owner actually wants. Because there's no set guidelines to what should or shouldn't happen. So the main criteria is generally a neat short trim that is maintainable. So most of our clients here go on long muddy walks, so it's generally the shorter the better that works for them. But then once you've done he's got a lot, if they have a lot of excess hair on top of the bridge of the nose, you can clear that as well. around the eye so it doesn't obstruct his vision. And then with his ears, I'm just basically trimming round, following the general shape of the ear. Come here. Good boy. If you use your thumb as a guide, feel where the leather is. You go below that. And same thing to the other ear. Good boy. Head round that way. Good boy. That's better. I tend to think they look better with short ears, although some people prefer them to have long ears. So they can be left longer, they can be shorter. It just generally works what works best for the owner. And that's Bailey done.